The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
The blizzard to remember is soon to be wrapped up. We are tracking the remaining flakes, mainly on the eastern side of the state. Thankfully, the worst is over. Thanks for watching the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A blizzard warning is still in effect for blowing snow into tomorrow morning. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has been working around the clock for us. So blizzard warning, but has some of that dropped in parts of the state?
Yes, it actually did. It just dropped a little while ago. So all of the warnings are now gone, which is a good sign. There's a little bit of leftover snow still falling and a lot of leftover snow on the ground.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, 1 to 2 feet of snow and even over 2 feet in parts of eastern Connecticut. So for areas like Stonington, which came in with over 30 inches of snow, I mean, that's, one of the bigger storms that you'll see in your lifetime there. Here's a look at the radar right now, and we've still got in Stonington some snow that is ongoing. So it just has not ended. Here's a look at those snowfall totals I was telling you about. Again, over 30 inches in North Stonington. That has been the jackpot with this storm, eastern Connecticut, but also the immediate shoreline and in western Connecticut, right around the New York border. But again, most of the state getting 1 to 2 feet, higher amounts east, slightly lower amounts here north of the Connecticut River Valley. Some of these totals are a couple hours old, so it is possible that we did get up to a foot of snow kind of in between observations. So the snow is going to continue to wind down. There is still a chance for an additional coating of snow, especially in eastern areas. And now it's all about cleaning up that heavy, wet snow, because it might be, as you're kind of chipping away at it, might be a 2-day job, so watch your back. For the last storm, this was really light, fluffy snow, easy to move. People were saying you could sneeze it off your car, and this time around, it is really got a lot of water content in it. Slippery spots also, obviously, that's a no-brainer. That's going to remain, and in some areas, roads may not even be fully plowed just yet. So we do have a little bit of snow right now in the Hartford area, also over through Tolland and Ellington, but this is really kind of the last hurrah here in Mystic, Stonington, Plainfield, and Killingly. I do think this will wind down over the next 2 hours. It might take until 8 o'clock to get the last flakes to get out of here. I don't even need to point out where this storm is. It's just so, of course, as I point, but it's just such a classic textbook nor'easter, and there it is, pulling away. So here's a look at the timing of the end. Tomorrow is beautiful, but we have another problem on the 7-day, maybe 2, some additional snow. Nothing like this, but poorly timed. We'll explain. Your full forecast is coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And now it's 6:02. A little more than 5,000 Eversource customers are without power. Its outage map says Beacon Falls is mainly in the dark with 445 customers out. Montville and North Stonington have more than 350 outages. Officials told us a few hours ago that line, tree, and service crews, along with operators behind the scenes, have restored power to more than 24,000 customers. Eversource says they have made steady progress despite tough travel and blocked roads, and it's urging everyone to stay away from downed wires and report them to 911 and to use generators safely, keep them well away from homes. Eversource says they won't stop until every customer's lights are back on.
And don't forget, the state's cold weather protocol is still in effect. It will last until noon tomorrow. If you need shelter or a warming center, you can call 211 or contact 211.org. Transportation can also be provided.
All right, let's kick things off now with Fox 61's Erin Coogan. She is live in New Haven. So tell us what it's looking like out there, Erin.
Yeah, well, guys, all day long we've been waiting for this. A little bit of a break in the action, if you'd call it that. We have no snow coming down. The winds have died down a little bit, so the cleanup efforts, the dig out per se, has begun. People are dealing with these 2-3 foot drifts, from the plows coming by and throwing all the snow on the side. But also a reminder, when we're talking about the dig out, we're talking about the clean out, we want to take a look at these hydrants. If you got a hydrant in front of your house, oh, there I go, down into the snow. Just showing you, it's waist high. You have to dig out within 24 hours, 3 feet of clearance. So if there's an emergency, first responders can get to it quickly. So the folks here on Olive Street here in New Haven can thank me later, because I'm gonna help out a little bit. And what's interesting, guys, as we are talking about the dig out process, is that this top layer, especially when you're talking about the plows and on the side of roads and stuff, the top stuff is fluffy. It's the stuff that that we dealt with last week. But then as you get deeper into the layers of snow, that bottom coating, I'd say the last foot or so, is that really heavy, dense, wet stuff. And when you're digging out, whether it's a car or maybe the fire hydrant, you're not going to want to lift it and throw it over your shoulder, because that's gonna, cause complications for your heart, for your back. Just push it out the way, and it's harder, easier said than done. But yeah, just take your time. As Rachel was saying, it might be a 2-day process, it might be a 3-day process, but you want to get to these hydrants as quickly as you can to, help the first responders out if there's something that you need help out with later in the week. So again, we're going to be continuing to monitor the cleanup process here in New Haven. Again, folks are doing this now because this is the first sign of relief that we've had all day. So, that's a good sign. Good sign. All right, I will send things back over to the desk.
All right, Erin, thank you. I think we're going to get calls from people in neighborhoods all over the state asking us to send Erin out to do a story in their neighborhood. She's going to help shovel.
Yep.
All right, the Beacon Hose Volunteer Fire Department sent us pictures of what it looks like to respond to downed wires. The firefighters say this was from 121 this morning on Bethany Road. And they say the downed wires caused 1/3 of the town to lose power. Some of those outages have been restored. They didn't say what caused the wires to go down. Weather would be a good guess. And take a look at this. A plow truck helped Wethersfield firefighters get to a tractor trailer that was on fire this morning. Officials say this was on the Harris Farm property after 8:15. They didn't say what caused the fire. Thankfully, nobody there was hurt.
The National Weather Service reports Norwich has seen at least 15 inches of snow, so well over a foot. That's where we find Fox 61's Victoria Anderson. So Victoria, what are conditions like now?
Hi guys, good evening. It's way better tonight than it was this morning. The wind has calmed down and I think it's still snowing. You can't really tell if this is snow coming from above or snow coming from roofs and trees, but I'm here in downtown Norwich where it's very quiet. People are starting to shovel out their cars in preparation of wherever they're going to go tomorrow. And we have some restaurants open. I want to show you this. There's a Indian restaurant right here that is serving some of our utility workers in the city, them getting to sit down and have a meal after what I can only assume was a crazy day for them. Happy to see them getting some rest, and it'll probably be a long day for them tomorrow as this cleanup starts. This is only the first part of it. My colleague Celine said earlier, Rome wasn't built in a day, and cleanup won't just take one either. So we're very thankful for them and all our first responders that we've seen out here working really, really hard across the state. I'm gonna send it back to you guys in the studio in Norwich. Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
All right, thank you, Victoria. And Governor Ned Lamont has lifted the emergency commercial vehicle ban order as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can now drive, they can now drive out on the roads, but the governor is urging drivers to stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. And if you must head out, leave early, slow down, give plows plenty of space. And another important note here, Massachusetts and Rhode Island still have some travel restrictions in place, especially in Rhode Island. They are still actively seeing that snowfall, so check before crossing state lines.
In addition to that, most towns and cities are extending their parking bans, which is, of course, no surprise. There was a lot of snow to begin with, and we just dumped a lot more on top of it. You can find the full list by looking at the bottom of your screen or by visiting fox61.com.
If you take the bus, CT Transit hasn't said if they'll be back in service tomorrow. They tell us once they know how the roads are, they'll make their decision. We'll let you know as soon as we hear from them.
All right, Bradley International Airport, it's open, but 95% of today's flights have been canceled.
The Connecticut Airport Authority says more cancellations and delays are expected for tomorrow. Brian Spiros with Bradley International Airport joins us live now. Brian, thank you for being here. So with 95% of flights being canceled, what does the airport look like now? And what should passengers prepare for if they have a flight for tomorrow?
Well, good evening to you guys. Thank you for having me. So the airport throughout much of the day has been very quiet, but that is certainly a good thing because that means everyone was notified well in advance that their flights were going to be canceled today and they were able to stay home or stay in a hotel. The good news is that we do have a flight that is scheduled to depart in the coming hours, going down to San Juan, Puerto Rico. There's actually an inbound flight coming in and a few other flights that are going to be coming in tonight. So The airport is open. Snow removal operations continue, and everything is good enough out there to bring in aircraft, which is a good thing because there will be at least a few planes here to operate some flights in the morning.
Brian, do you have any idea whether there's any space left on that Puerto Rico flight? No.
I can check. I may be ahead of you on that, but I'll look for you.
Now, let me ask you this. With 95% of your flights canceled today, how long is it going to take to catch up on this? Because it's not just a matter of Bradley's runways being cleared. You have to wait for other connecting airports to be cleared as well, right?
Exactly, especially all those major hubs. The airlines are monitoring the situation, and they're the ones that will ultimately get back up and operating on a normal schedule. So looking ahead to tomorrow, there are some considerable cancellations for those early morning flights since there's no aircraft coming in tonight, or the normal aircraft that is, to operate those flights. So what will start happening tomorrow is, as we head throughout the morning, the airlines will start operating flights into Bradley, and then those aircraft will be here to operate flights as we go throughout the rest of the day. So the big thing we're reminding passengers of, if they are traveling tomorrow, even into Wednesday, before you come to the airport, check the status of your flight, because it is not uncommon to see those residual cancellations or delays as the airlines work to resume normal operations in the wake of this massive storm.
You don't want to be working for one of those major airlines today, having to reroute everyone. Besides the passenger planes taking off and landing, were other airport operations disrupted by the storm overnight?
No, I have to tell you, everything was status quo. Snow removal operations went underway as they were supposed to, and there were no major issues. We also didn't see any sort of diversions as well. That's another reason why we maintain the safety of the airfield even during the storm, clearing all of the surfaces so that in the event there is a diversion or you have the Army or Air National Guard needing to come in and out of the airport, the runways and taxiways are available to them.
All right, Brian Spiro from Bradley International Airport. Thanks for joining us. Good luck out there getting caught up on all those flights.
Same to you guys. Thank you.
And if you don't show up for work tomorrow, Brent, we're going to know you're in San Juan.
If you and I both don't show up, yeah, they're going to, I don't know what they'll do. All right, as for Tweed New Haven Airport, by the way, it could be closed through 8 o'clock tonight. Right now, airport officials are telling passengers to check with their airline before heading to the airport for the latest flight information, regardless of where you're headed. If you're traveling and you want to know if your flight is delayed, text the keyword flight to the number on your screen, 860-527-6161.